Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The President of France, Emmanuel Macron, said Islam is in a crisis. This is not surprising or unexpected for him to have said that. The West assume that their way of life is superior to all other cultures because they believe in freedom. They claim to be superior because a Muslim in the West can practice their religion and a non-Muslim can practice their way of life. So is this true? Is the West based on freedom? Does Islam not believe in freedom? Let's take a look. The problem with the term freedom is that it is an absolute term. So when they use the term freedom, they don't actually mean freedom, just like Richard Dawkins when he says life emerged from nothing. When he uses the word nothing, he doesn't actually mean nothing. As soon as you impose a definition on the word freedom, it no longer remains freedom. So to say you are free as long as you obey the law is no different to Henry Ford saying you can buy my car in any color you like as long as it's black. So no society in the world is free, whether in the East or in the West. Every single society is regulated by law, and every single society imposes sanctions on people who don't obey the law. Every state defines what taxes you will pay, and if you don't, there are sanctions. As a Muslim, you don't have the freedom to determine that you're not going to pay income tax or VAT and instead pay zakat and the other Islamic taxes. If you do that, you will be punished. No Muslim has the freedom to determine their own legal system and impose punishments and sanctions for breaking those laws. No Muslim or non-Muslims can choose the educational curriculum they want to teach their children. They are compelled to follow the national curriculum. Now, you can't even be critical of capitalism in schools. Even this is now frowned upon. So regardless of whether you're a Muslim or a non-Muslim, everyone is compelled to follow the law. Even in the realms of the cherished personal freedom, even here you are not free to do as you wish. Consenting adults in a relationship is not okay if it's polygamous. In France, wearing a bikini is okay, but not the niqab. If you wear a niqab, there are sanctions. So it is not a gross simplification to say that there is no such thing as freedom. For example, they claim freedom of ownership, but there is no freedom of ownership. Recently, Sainsbury's wanted to buy Asda, but the Competition and Markets Authority forbade them from doing that, and they were not allowed to buy Asda. Sainsbury's did not have the freedom to buy Asda. There is no freedom of speech. Every so-called free country has legislation in place to curtail people's speech. So there are laws which classify hate speech or glorification of terrorism or other such things. So the criticism of the Zionist occupation of Palestine is restricted. Talking about the establishment of the Khilafah in the Muslim world is restricted. Or for speaking out against what crimes the Western governments have committed in the Muslim world. So now there are secret trials and evidence which cannot be shown. So there are many things which have been restricted in the name of freedom. So Islam is not in crisis because Islam doesn't exist at a state level. Yes, the Muslims are in crisis because of the absence of their way of life. The West is in crisis because of the existence of so-called freedom and their way of life. Freedom, as represented by capitalism, is an ideology based on free markets and on freedom of ownership. It is this freedom that has caused the crisis whereby billionaires increase their wealth and poverty increases at the same time. It is this freedom which has caused a social crisis where some people don't even know if they are a man or a woman. It is this freedom which has caused the race crisis in America and other parts of the world which has been burning for over 400 years. It is this freedom which has caused the ecological disaster on the planet, trying to fulfill the insatiable desire of man. So when they say freedom, they don't actually mean freedom. What they actually mean is that no divine being is going to tell us what to do. We will define for ourselves what to do. This is what freedom really means to them. So your crisis is because of the existence of your ideology. Our crisis is because of the absence of our way of life. Your crisis is because your ideals are false. Freedom does not exist. Everybody follows something or someone. So the choice is simple. Either you are a slave to the one who created you, or you are a slave to something which is created like you. Being a slave to the one who created you is honorable, and being a slave to anything other than that is dishonorable. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the pride and the confidence to talk about Islam as a solution for mankind, for society and for the planet. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد والحمد لله رب العالمين.